So a lot of the things that you see now, not much has changed despite having Obama in the highest office in the land. And Oprah, when you look at her in the Forbes list, they tell you how well she's doing, and it's supposed to represent how all black Americans are doing. No. The richest man in the world is a Mexican. You wouldn't say all Mexicans are rich. So why would anyone think that so much has changed for blacks because Obama is in office and because Oprah is rich, right? We're still shot down in groves. You have the Trayvon Martin situation. You have brothers getting shot 41 times, and it's just still a slap on the wrist for the police. It's still, you shoot a black man in America, you're a hero. I had an uncle in the 90s. He was shot point blank range by the police. God bless his soul. And they just got 3 days suspension. His kids got a little bit of money, and that was the end of it. Back to business. So, this is the situation in North America for blacks. Not much has changed, and corporate America sponsors a lot of the challenges that we have. You have Puffy, multimillionaire through a clothing line. Jay-Z, multimillionaire through a clothing line. And, went on to own basketball teams and such. And the premise of their music, how their beginnings was drugs and violence. So when you see them being successful, corporate America tells you, yeah, these are the people you should follow. This is who you should be like, because hey, they made it. And you look at suckers like Rick Ross. He was recently dropped from Reebok for talking about raping a girl, but he wasn't dropped, Black America, for talking about having cartels in black communities, giving drugs to kids, women, and things of that nature, right? No, that's okay. So corporate America doesn't have us in its interests. Snoop Dogg is well known by corporate America, singing in his music a lot of the sellout notions of Bloods and Crips and gangsterism that's caused more harm to blacks in North America than the KKK ever could, right? And he's sort of like the weed smoking, gang banging grandfather that the media tells you, oh, it's okay though, he's Snoop Dogg and it's cool. So that's where we are. And where are we going? Who can we look to? Who are the idols, right? There's a lot of people to look in history. There's YouTube and Google nowadays. You could find out so much about some real black idols, such as Benjamin Banneker, self-educated black astronomer. You have you have Rosa Parks. You have Elizabeth Freeman. You have Alexander Dumas, who was briefly talked about in the movie Django Unchained. He wrote the book The Three Musketeers, and also the great book The Count of Monte Cristo. Even more important, researched his father, who was also a French general. My man Antonio Maceo Morales, Cuban revolutionary, freed many blacks from colonialism in the Caribbean and South America. Many people, man. You look at Malcolm X, Malik Shabazz, man. The great Marcus Messiah Garvey. You have Haile Selassie, Patrice Lumumba in Africa, all who died for black dignity and screaming and pleading for the generations above to educate themselves and rise above, the stereotypes and the challenges that are placed in front of us to keep us down. So you have a lot of people you can look up to instead of, these individuals pumping all the drug stuff, corporate America trying to kill us, also in the supersizing options, which are quite more extravagant in the ghetto than in any other places, and the abortion clinics in the black communities, sponsored by your Democratic Party, by the way, Obama, with the Planned Parenthood agenda that was really brought forth by Margaret Sanger, who was a racist, saying that America's problems would be solved by keeping black babies from being born, as if America wasn't always a problem. So, that's where we are. That's where we can look to. And we really have to understand where we're coming from. And look, it's the responsibility of the current generation to tell the truth so that the next one isn't misled, as the previous was. Of blacks reside in America, by now Brazil has more blacks than the whole of America, right? You know that the Caribbean has a lot of blacks, parts in Europe and Africa. Somalian and Ethiopian brothers have very close knit communities and families. I've known brothers from Sudan and Ghana who don't know what a girlfriend is, because from you get a girl, you marry her, and that's that. There's no in between of dating and promiscuousness and things of that nature. So it's just a North American black identity. Though the media tries to tell you that's black people around the world and tries to teach that same poison to people in those other areas like the Caribbean and such, but we really in North America can look towards the blacks outside of North America and see the great things that they're doing. I mean, we're clamoring about a black president, but Jamaica, for example, has a woman black prime minister. Many African nations and Caribbean nations have had black prime ministers for decades upon decades, running successful democracy and other forms of government. So, we can really take a look at that example also, and pay attention to the things which are killing us, and that's basically the American black identity in short. Join me another time to speak more in depth about some of those things. Yeah, anything else I wanted to say? I don't think so. It's just to get back to the music, man. In the meantime, keep it moving, and God bless. Take care.